We are back. Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is our limited playthrough, I guess, prior to Out of the Park 26 coming out. We just finished our first season. We were 73 and 89. If you want to take a look at the team stats, you can go back and look at the end of last episode. We got some players on the waiver wire. Blaze Jordan. Yep, we're going to go ahead and claim Blaze Jordan right away. From the Red Sox, looks like they may have pulled him back. Nico Nukes is on here as well. A lot of Red Sox on here. What is going on? I like Brian Mata, but he always gets hurt. Anyway, all right, so we're at the beginning of the offseason. We went 73 and 89. We are into our first offseason. Is our scout gone? What happened? Did I forget to re-sign people? I sure as heck did. All right, let's find a new scout. Maybe we'll get lucky. Goldberg. I mean, I typically go for highly favors tools guys. I guess we just signed Lonnie Goldberg to a 2-year contract. And we have to immediately void Marco Gonzalez's contract. We have a budget of around $65 million. Okay, McCutchen retired, which means we don't have to worry about losing him and taking the fan interest hit. Okay, so he retired. We signed him to the proper contract. Tamar Johnson is the 10th rated prospect in baseball. Development facilities. Let's jump in and do that. Excuse me. Let's look at our 40-man. I like to do 40-man and then go by age. I'm going to start with Skeens. And I think with Skeens, the strength and conditioning, I think, is the way to go. It's hard, but I think the benefits really outweigh any potential issues. Yeah, I mean, we're not, his other stuff's fine, but if we can work on his durability and keep him from getting hurt, I think that's huge. Jared Jones. We do the same thing. You run the risk of it going the wrong way, but we'll do it that way for both of them. Luis Ortiz has been hurt all year. Another young guy. Stamina, not great stamina. Henry Davis, we're going to work on his defense. Shane Baz, let's work on his control. Yeah, our offense is just so bad. There's just like nobody here that I want to develop. O'Neal Cruz. Work on his plate discipline. I mean, I would say work on his defense, but I don't think ultimately he's going to be at shortstop for us. Prospects. Can't put Smith there because he's hurt. That kind of stinks. But we can do our other 2 top picks. We've got Dome. Let's work on his control. Where did he go? Where did he go? Let's start with Tamar Johnson. Let's just focus on that first. Gap power of Void Cave. Let's work on his gap power. See if we can generate a little bit of doubles and triples power. Oh, you know what? I want to change. That's one thing I didn't change that I wanted to. I wanted to change the number of players you could send to the development lab. Right now it's 6, and I don't think that's enough. Where is it? Where is it? It's here somewhere. I feel like I've gone past the screen 3 or 4 times, and you guys, I think, are probably screaming at the television or at the, however you're watching this. I guess television is as realistic as anything else, right? Here, make it 10. Pipeline, development lab. Yes, I want to make it 10. That's what I wanted to do. All right, so we got a Vidia. Let's work on his secondary pitch. Dome, we were going to work on his control. If I can find him. Why do I keep losing him? There he is. Work on his control. I got 2 spots left. Got Tamar Johnson in there. Excuse me. Spencer Jones. Yeah, we can spend some time on Spencer Jones. See if we can improve that batting eye. And excuse me. Denzel Clark. We're going to have to put him on the 40-man, but that's fine. I mean, he ended up hitting really well. I mean, he's going to be on the team this upcoming season. So let's work on... Let's see if we can get. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can work on his quality of contact. Get that contact up. Actually, you know what? No, let's take that back. Let's work on batting eye. I don't care if he hits 240. Now I just got to find him again. Let's work on the batting eye instead. Let's work on plate discipline. Because if we can get that batting eye up, the eye and the avoid K, I mean, that's a pretty good player. Really good against lefties, passable against righties. Yeah, so let's do that. All right. So now we got to go to arbitration. Yeah, all those players can just go. Anybody we want to bring back? Celestino we want to bring back because he's just 25. Smith Najiba. Yeah, I mean, we'll bring him back if he wants to come back. It looks like he is willing to. Everybody else, that's fine. All right, so Baz wants 2-2. We'll offer him 2-1. That signed. Connor Joe wants $3 million. No, thank you. Oliveris wants 4. Now, this is where we start to Vierling. Nathaniel, but he's making 7. I mean, that's the bat we're missing, or at least one of the bats we're missing. We'll offer him arbitration. I think that's okay. Okay. Will he take 3 years? He will. Okay. So that saves us $670,000 this year, and then if he doesn't perform, we can opt out of his contract next season. Works for me. And then I want to go here in front office. So we got plenty of money. So let's go ahead and bump this up. Oops. All right. So we have 41 for available, 41 available, 15 available for extensions. Yeah, Brubaker, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of. Josh Fleming, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. Anybody else here that we want to get rid of? That we just know isn't going to be a part of things going forward? I don't think so. So I think the long-term plan is to find a different shortstop and move O'Neal Cruz to center and then trade Suwinski. That's probably the plan, even though we need power. I think that's probably the plan. Although Suwinski's number is really cheap. Maybe the play is trading Ryan Reynolds, as crazy as that sounds. Bayo, not that we need another pitcher. Cody Bellinger, 3 years, $30 million per. Tristan McKenzie, wow. Okay. His ARB number's got to be expensive. It's only 5.5. Gavin Williams is 20. Wow. See what I mean about the game seeming to just value offense over pitching? Like, to be able to trade Brian Reynolds straight up for one of those pitchers. If we needed pitchers, would be nice. But I don't need a pitcher. I need a bat. Freddie Peralta. Weimer's a great defensive outfielder. Frelick. Do everything but hit for power. I mean, I would happily trade Frelick for someone like Suwinski. Yeah, just lots of offers for quality starting pitchers, but I don't want to say I don't need a quality starting pitcher. I mean, you always need a quality starting pitcher, but trade for Jung-Hoo Lee. His contract spikes. Really? I can't afford that. I mean, this is the deal. Like, really? Bring in Vlad? His ARB number's 24. His ARB number's 24. But Reynolds is going to make 12 this year. We jump to 77 in 2026, 103, 115. I mean, these are all obviously estimates, but we could trade Brian Reynolds straight up for Vlad. I mean, I think we do this. And then maybe we have the opportunity to re-sign him if he doesn't want, $40, $50 million a year. And if he does, maybe we trade him at the deadline. Ryan Reynolds for Vlad Guerrero. Yeah, they're just trying to move him. I think we do this. He's extremely popular. The fans aren't going to like this. I think we do this. This was unexpected. All right. Okay. They didn't like that. Increases slightly. So we're at 38. All right, so let's put all these players on there. Designated for assignments. Vlad's ARB number's 24 million. All right. Can we get him? Let's see if we can get him for 5 years. Would you do 5 years at 25? Let's start with 4 years at 25. He only wants the 1-year contract. How many years of ARB does he have left? Is it just this one? Yeah, he just has next year. 24.3. All right, so 23. Let's start with that. Let's offer him the 23,650. And let's go. I mean, I didn't think that was going to be right out of the chute like that, but, you know, you take what you can get, I guess. We got to wait for our scout to sign so that we can go back into so we can go back and do international amateur scouting. We picked up Blaze Jordan. That's nice. So we immediately have improved our offense here. Jordan's not going to hit for not going to hit for a lot of power, but good contact. He's going to be a high batting average guy. Do a pending offer there. Just keep going. We should start signing these players here shortly. Baz resigns, Vlad signs, so the fans like that. There's Goldberg. So now we got to go in here and scouting reports on everyone. Can't believe we picked up Vlad Guerrero. I feel like that was as good a deal. I mean, you aren't going to find huge prospect trades at when you play on this level. All right, sorry about that. I still am expecting a phone call, and I thought that might have been it, but it wasn't. So, all right, yeah. So we just picked up Vlad. Yeah. Worst case scenario. I mean, I ultimately we were going to trade that Reynolds contract anyway, right? Like, as much as the first couple years of this contract were fine, like, I don't want to be paying a 33, 34, 35-year-old $15 million a year. So that's a long-term deal for a team that can't really afford long-term deals. So the hope is once we get into the offseason and this kicks over to kind of his last year, that we might, if I can talk Vlad into like a 4-year deal, take him to like he's 30, like I would be okay with that. And then we'll just have to find money in other places, of course. But all right, so let's get back into this because we got to go through all this again. He likes Santiago. I don't remember the players that we signed, or the players that we brought in. Brought in this guy. I liked him. Now we got 10 players. Let's run practice. All right. So Cerritos is somebody that might, if league interest stays low, like these low players, like these are the ones where we may be able to to sign them cheaper, but we'll see. All right, let's just start simming ahead. See, I was expecting a phone call at 1 o'clock today. It's 11:47, and I panicked that call might come in early. So that's what that was. Gold Gloves. American League, Javier, Heim, Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn, seems like he had a pretty good season. I saw he had like a 27-game hit streak. I'm sure the White Sox would love it if he gave him those sorts of numbers. Jimenez, Young, Baez, Kwan, Siri, and Tucker. And in the National League, Luzardo, Murphy, Flores, Horner, Chapman, Lindor, Friedel, Bader, Tatis. Joan Duran, no surprise. Reliever of the year in the AL, Alexis Diaz in the National League. We're getting some returns on some of our scouting reports. We had a Platinum Stick Award winner, and we traded him. So Hoppy, Cassius, Holiday, Ramirez, Seager, Brown, Varsho, Green, and Soto. And then Moreno, Freeman, Bogarts, Riley, Adames, Reynolds. Really, there weren't that many good left fielders this year, huh? And he's a good baseball player. Merrill, Acuna, and Jordan Walker. I still feel like that was the better trade. Rookie of the Year, Jackson Holiday, Jackson Merrill. Skeens didn't win because he only played half the season, I think. 10-6, 256, 13-8, 305. Yeah, I mean, there's some good rookies running around the National League right now. Boone and Snitker are your managers of the year. Cy Young, Carlos Rodon in the American League. Strider in the National League. Skeens got some votes. Strider was 18-5. And then MVP. Soto in the AL. Did they re-sign him? No, they didn't. He's going to be a free agent. And then Acuna in the National League. So, all right. Well, didn't really expect to win anything first year. And we got, at a minimum, we got that Silver Slugger, Platinum Stick, whatever you want to call it, in Out of the Park baseball. But I do like the changes we made. How do we stand on scouting? Okay, so everybody's very high now. What do you think of Vlad? Obvious talent. I can't offer him an extension yet. I'll be able to once we get to the free agency filings. What do you think of Cruz? What if we made him a center fielder? I mean, he is a center fielder with those ratings. I mean, maybe a right fielder, but we'll list him as a center fielder, and that will remind us that we need to find a shortstop in free agency. All right. What do we got for international free agents? Anybody any good? Young players we can bring in? 26-year-old catcher. $15 million a year. Good. I was hoping that shortstop there would have been a good player, but nope. Wow. Okay. All right, what do we got? Verlander, Soto, Scott. No, yeah, okay. Okay. All right. How much money do we have? We have 35, but a lot of that's going to go to Vlad. Yeah, see, that's not bad. He only wants 4 years. Would he take that? He would. Victor Wembanyama to miss the rest of the season with a blood clot. That feels reasonable. 4 years, $116 million. That takes him till he's here, 29. You know, and we'll clear some money off this at some point, I'm sure. Again, if Olivares doesn't give us another 300 season, you know, that's $6 million we can clear. So I think we'll be okay there, and we still even gives us a little bit of money, assuming he signs the contract, of course. Maybe shortstop. right? That's first and foremost. We need a shortstop. Did Adames re-sign with the Dodgers? Oh, he signed that contract earlier. No, he just re-signed it. Yeah, just re-signed it last month. Okay. That's fine. We weren't going to be able to sign Adames anyway, but shortstops. Nick Ahmed. That might be a good option. He's good defensively. Crawford. This was 5 years ago, maybe. DeJong is not a shortstop with that range. Mateo, everybody hates. He's disruptive. Miguel Rojas. I think Ahmed is the answer here at 34. He's not going to hit it all, but he's going to be a good defensive shortstop. Let's offer him a 1-year contract worth $2 million. So what do we need? We knew we needed that. So that was a fair decision or a fair decision to make. So Baz. All right. So who is Priester's going to come up? Celestino's probably due to come up too. That's it, right? So Priester, Contreras. Yeah, we got a lot of play. We could use another reliever. We'll see if we can find something relatively cheap. And then from a offensive perspective, Henry Davis at catcher. Vlad at first. We don't have a second baseman either. Right now it's Piguero. That's not going to work. So no second baseman. Third baseman is Hayes. We don't have a shortstop. Left field. Right now, left field is Sawinski. He's got the weakest arm of the bunch. Cruz in center. Oliveras in right. And then we go with someone like Blaze Jordan at DH. We could stick DeLuca in left. Because that allows us to trade Sawinski. Let's take a look at that option and see what we can get for infielders. Connor Norby's not a bad second base prospect. Hit pretty well last season in Norfolk. Pretty good against lefties. A little bit below average against righties. That's not a bad option, actually. Not interested in first baseman. Jonathan India. A little bit too expensive for my blood. We'll do this again, but we'll just look at second baseman. It should remove at least some of these first base options that are being thrown at us. Zach Jaloff's a good hitter, but he's a bit of a tool, selfish. He's good defensively. Really good against lefties. He's selfish. He's not disruptive. He's selfish. He's not disruptive. We go Bryson Stott, who's very good defensively. Didn't have a good year last year, though. Ezekiel Duran. Still got some potential growth. Rangers have been trying to pawn him off on me, though, for really all season long. So I question how good he actually is. Let's do it this way. We might wait until we get to the winter meetings. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the same players. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't hate the idea. Why is Ruiz on here? Because technically he can play second base. I mean, I wouldn't hate Jaloff if he wasn't a schmuck. Anybody else on that on the? I mean, what if we did both? Olivares had a good season. Does that change things at all? Get a rise in his $16 million ARB number. No, it literally doesn't change anything. We can get Edmund, but again, that's $9 million. Davis Schneider. Power at second base. But he's basically Sawinski at second base. All right. So we need a second baseman. So let's look at free agency. What do we got for second baseman? We've already made an offer to Nick Ahmed. Polanco. He played second base last year. He did not particularly well. In fact, he was really bad in just 33 games. Luis Urias. He was at third base. Interesting. Christian Arroyo. Yorm. Can't hit. Can't. I mean, his fielding is fine. Madrigal. 159 with the Cubs. That's weird. Played for the Winnipeg Goldeyes in the American Association. Led the American Association with 27 home runs. Record in that league is 32, in case you were curious. Nick Senzel. Ramon Urias. Yeah, not a lot of great options at second base. I think maybe we wait. Let's get to the next month. Let's see if we sign Ahmed and Vlad. We're going to put both of these guys on the active roster. Sign Vlad. Cool. All right. So that helps. Still, we still have plenty of money to play with here. So I'm not like I'm okay maybe not increasing the scouting. I would like to let's bump this up to 30. I like to get the scouting and development maxed out as quickly as I can. And then maybe we can use the Rule 5 as a way to bring in a popular player to increase the fan interest, which right now is at a 40. International amateurs, scouting screen, run practice. Let's get the Hall of Fame voting. All right, no improvement for Henry Davis at catcher. That's not ideal, but at least he didn't get worse. So who do we want to stick in there now? See if we can make Vlad better at first base. That's not a terrible thing to do. All right, Hall of Fame voting. I don't normally do Hall of Fame stuff, but we can do it here. Cast our ballot. Beltran. Burley won't get in. I mean, I could vote for him, but he won't get in. I mean, 200 wins at this point is basically the new 300. He was at 50. Well, we'll vote for Burley. He's not going to get in, but we'll vote for him. King Felix will vote for him. I like voting for Torrey Hunter. Andrew Jones belongs in the Hall of Fame. Who is Dong Yup Park? I don't have any idea. We're voting for Petey, and nobody can tell me any different. Vote for Pettit. Vote for Ramirez. A-Rod. Sabathia. We're going to have to take somebody off this list. Taking Burley off. I'm not taking Pedroia off because we got to put Suzuki on there. All right. That's fair. I mean, it's not fair because I left Pedroia on there and he's not going to get in. But all right, let's get up to all right. So we're at the winter meetings. Let's take a look and see who is on the trade block. Hoskins, Bo Bichette, Yandy Diaz. I mean, we could take on a one-year contract. I just want to make sure I have some flexibility. We did want to bring in another reliever. That is correct. I forgot about that. Gallon. Just looking to dump the salary? No, they want actual talent in return. That's fine. Free agents, relievers. All right, Tanner Scott left. Yeah, I don't want to give. I want to be thrown out. Barucki, we should probably bring back. He doesn't want a lot of money. Did his ratings drop? Yeah, his control dropped. His potential dropped in July. All right. Giovanni Moran, how long is he out for? He's out for 2 weeks. So Anthony Dominguez. Yep, he only wants 1.9 million. Those are the types of deals we can make. 2 years at 175. No, that's not what I wanted to do, but that's fine. And then Moran, he wants 4.6. Let's hold off there for just a second. Kittredge, Ottavino, Pivetta. Pivetta wouldn't be bad as a back of the rotation guy, but he wants 9 million, so we'll hold off for now. Back here. And instead of looking at second base, let's just look at all batters. Get out Thomas. Very good defensively, a lot of speed. Bad option. Doesn't really give us the offense we're looking for, but not a bad option. Really need a first baseman now that we got Vlad signed long term. Shard's not bad. He's kind of platoony, but Pasquantino, Moniak. I feel like Mickey Moniak has been in out of the park baseball for 1,000 years at this point. Trent Grisham, Brent Rooker. Yeah, I mean, it's basically trading apples for apples, right? Sawinski is basically the same thing. Maybe we can find a shortstop and move Ahmed to second. What if we do that? Let me do this. Arcia, 2 million this year, 2 million team option next year. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, gives you 2 WAR, league average bat. He's below average at short, but we could make him a second baseman. Miranda, Renifro, Stott's another one. Good defensively, but that bat is just rough, especially against lefties. Should get a scouting report on Duran. I really should. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, so let's do that, and then look at Oliveris was the other one. Excuse me. Excuse me. I think it's going to be all basically the same things. Actually, better offers for Oliveris. Or I should say different offers for Oliveris. Maybe not better, just different. Duran, yeah, it's basically the same players. Perdomo's a good batting eye, but not much else. Who do I have in the minors that the game has shown some interest in here that I would be willing to trade, of course? I mean, not really many. I mean, we got Omar Alfonso, 21-year-old catcher. What is that? Does that change anything? Not really. I mean, Arise would be a good option if he wasn't making $16 million a year, right? Larnock. Jung-Hoo Lee. Yeah, I mean, maybe Duran is the option. Oliveris. Duran for Oliveris. I mean, Oliveris hit 300 last year. Oops. Average major leaguers. Contact dropped. Fielding wise, he was really bad out and right. Duran. Yeah, I mean, if there's actual development there, I mean, if he can give us this, I think you take that. All right, we're going to pull the trigger here. We're going to trade Edward Oliveris to the Texas Rangers for Ezekiel Duran. All right. So there is our trade. That is our winter meeting trade. Our winter meeting trade. We will sim ahead. We're still waiting on a couple of free agents. Nishimoto? Who is that? Oh, he must have been one of the international guys. Yeah, we're still waiting on Ahmed and Dominguez. If we go here, it was the catcher, right? Okay. So we Still have 30 million this year, 25 next, but I don't want to spend it all. I want to make sure we've got I want to make sure that we've got some money just in case. We've got we've got a young pitching staff, right? I mean, Jones, Skeens, Gill, Baz, Ashcraft, Papio, Ortiz, Priester can all start for us. Contreras can start for us. We don't really have a veteran starter. But that doesn't really matter in this. Like, this isn't real life, obviously. So I don't think you need to have that veteran to teach your players or whatever. I don't think that's a necessary thing. Um, I would like to add. Let's look at pitching ratings. Because it will then show me what type of pitcher they are, and like me, the ground ball pitchers, especially with our improved infield defense. I think that could help. Tanner Scott wanted a lot, right? He wanted 14 or something. Yeah, he's up over 15 now. Caleb Ferguson wants 4.2. Fastball, curveball. Rand's neutral. I think maybe Ferguson. I don't want to give him 3 years, though. I don't like the idea of being locked up that long to a reliever unless they're an absolute beast. I think we wait until the Rule 5 and see if we can make an addition there, because nothing here is really. Karinchak looks okay. Only wants 1 point. Yeah. Karinchak only wants 1.5. Let's offer him one. Oops. I throw my phone on the floor. All right. Oh, let's get to the Rule 5. All right, we are at the Rule 5 draft now. And is there anybody we have to add to our 40-man that we would be concerned about losing? Lauer might not be bad insurance in case somebody gets hurt, so we'll add him. Malcolm Nunez is somebody that other teams have wanted. We got to put Selvage on the 40-man. Let's see if anybody wants Nunez. He was like one of those players that would add trade value when I was looking at when I was looking at what about relievers? When I was looking at trades, I could add him in and teams were interested, but Seth Halverson, nope, nothing. All right. Anybody else we want to add him? I guess if somebody takes him, somebody takes him. You know what? We have the 40-man roster spot. We may as well put him on there. Same with Joe Perez. We can always just take them off if we need to. Denzel Clark needs to be put on there because he needs to be called up. Forgot about Denzel Clark. That was part of the reason we were going to trade Sawinski. But now maybe we don't have to. We can stick Clark in left, Sawinski in center, and Cruz in right. I think all of a sudden we've got a very good outfield defense. Our infield defense potentially will be better with some of the additions we've made, but let's get to the Rule 5. We're picking 7th. All right, let's get pitchers first. I want to look at anybody here that could actually help us that is popular? No, it doesn't appear that there is. Hoping there might be somebody there. That's okay. We'll look at batters in a minute. That's pitching potential, which is what we're looking for. Anybody here? Kauskas? No. What about batters? Do we have any popular batters? No. That's too bad. Now, Brett Phillips, he's a lot of fun. He's no good, but he's a lot of fun. Cameron Colley, very good defensively. Doesn't really look like there's anybody here. That's a little, I don't say upsetting. It's not upsetting. It's disappointing, I guess, is probably a better way of putting it. John Diaz. Yeah, no, I'm not really impressed by anything here. Jeter Downs. He's in Washington now, right? Oh, he's with the Yankees. That's right. He got picked up by the Yankees. That was a trade that didn't go well. Jesse Franklin. No, we're just gonna go ahead and finish. There's nobody in the Rule 5 that I am interested in. Lots of picks though. Could have taken Frazzo, I guess. Probably should have. Looks pretty damn good. Casey Mize. Yeah, I mean, there were some players there that were interesting. All right, let's. Yeah, our revenue per game is up, which means in theory we should get a bump to our budget, but I don't want to make any assumptions. So next season, yeah, I mean, none of these are bad. I mean, we only go up to 65 next year, and half that's Vlad. It's here that things start to get a little out of control. 107, 131, 110. But a lot of that is, again, estimates based off these guys here. So we'll see. We will see. Sawinski at 2.2 next year. I mean, if he hits $197, we trade him and we call it a day. His ARB number is 1.6. I kind of like the Alec Thomas move here, honestly. Let me get a scouting report on him. If he ends up very high and this is where his numbers end up, we might pick up Alec Thomas. Stick him in left. Or stick him in center, rather. All right, so let's go. So I think what I'll do is I will get up to the preseason, and then I will pause for the live stream. So I'm going to send us Jared Koenig and Dylan O'Ray for Triolo and Chang. No, Chang's not all that good, but no thank you. I mean, if I offer Chang and Sawinski, I just want to make sure I'm not going to take any huge fan interest bumps by trading any of these players at this point. Dahlbeck, Vaughn, Bush, Happ, Michael Bush. I mean, he's Jack Sawinski just on the infield. India, CJ Kafis.